Welcome back to Talanoa, Tupe. Today in the studio, I'm joined by Izzy Ford, Deputy Mayor of Porirua, a well-known city in the Wellington region. She is a former Black Fern and the first woman appointed to the Wellington Rugby Board in 20 years. Welcome to the show, Izzy.
Oh, Talofa, thank you very much.
It's awesome to have you here.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here with you as well.
Yeah, there's a lot that I want to cover in this interview. But first, let's start from the beginning. So you were born in Porirua to Samoan parents. Tell us a bit about your background.
So yes, you've hit two critical elements of my upbringing, Samoan and in Porirua, and obviously two immigrants that came from Samoa and decided on Porirua to raise us. I am one of five, and we come from humble beginnings, I guess. The whole thing, the whole immigrant story of people trying to start out fresh. I think we were very lucky back in those days. Well, Mum and Dad were, when they came. They managed to build their own home in Porirua. They chose Porirua. They had options. They could either build a home in Wainoiamata or Porirua. They chose Porirua. They saw something special there. And so from there, we were raised, I guess, and from very humble beginnings. Under a national party, actually, there was a program that allowed them to build their first home, get themselves into a first home, and then it was Labour parties after. Geez, I can't help but talk about party, and I try not to, about politics, but somehow it goes, if I, track my life back, there are those different political parties that have helped Mum and Dad make their way through, and us as well, guide us along the way. But as well as that, there is also my Catholic faith as well, that has helped keep me grounded, that has helped me with my values and helped me along the way, because a lot of that Catholic belief has helped me with some of the decisions I make later on in my life, that I've made later on in my life. But also being able to see Mum and Dad and what they did in the days. They were, like serving the community that we lived in, but also serving the community back home. So that, I got to see I had front row seats to see that in action. Yeah, that it's not just about the family that's here, and it's almost at all costs, you got to serve the people here, but also those who are back home that you've left behind.
So that those elements you've touched on, faith, community service, and then I guess the effect of like political or policy decisions that have the effect that has had on your family life. Those kind of three elements of your background play a big part in your life today. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, it's ever evolving. Like back in the day, even though it was a national party that helped them get into their first home, build, who would thought immigrants that had been here they were here for 3 years and they managed to build, you don't hear that nowadays. But it was then the Labour Party that had the different policies that helped them keep those homes as well, and then be able to afford to live in that first home as well. So all the way along the line, there has been those policies that have been implemented by different parties that have helped us get to this point in time.
And of course, housing is such a big issue nowadays. And also one of the factors that can influence the wealth that people have is home ownership. And of course, Pasifika have very low home ownership rates. Less than 20% of Pasifika own their own homes. So, I mean, that's so awesome that your parents were able to come to New Zealand as new immigrants and straight off the bat own their own home.
Or build their own home. Which is cool. In Porirua.